Alright, we're going to do like a super quick, super short video today. And this one's going to be. I know it's going to be boring. But what if the Rangers really don't do anything exciting this offseason? What if us, being the New York fans that we are overhyping the Rangers offseason, thinking they're going to do something big and extravagant like we expect them to do every offseason, when in reality they really just don't do much and they just kind of fill holes and hope the young guys grow? Well, in a Hmm. making a perfect scenario out of a not so perfect scenario, the not so perfect scenario being the Rangers not making a big move and getting a big 2C, this is what I could say. So if the Rangers were only to do depth stuff, it would involve Patrick Nemeth fucking off, no matter what. Patrick Nemeth's got to go, period. And something along the lines of this. Yeah, that is not a very exciting team at all. And it's putting a lot of expectations on a lot of guys that if they don't fulfill those expectations, we could be looking at a team that might struggle to find their way into the playoffs next year. So my thought process is this: Vitaly Kravtsov moves up and fills a void that Pavel Buchnevich left. Well, didn't leave, was sent away, and never fulfilled. So when Buchnevich left, we never filled that role. Possibly Kravtsov can do that. Paul Stastny, you sign him as a 2C with the hopes of him being the 3C, because if he's the 3C, that means Filipino took a huge jump. So you put Paul Stastny with Capo Kakko and Artemi Panarin on that second line, effectively replacing Ryan Strome and Andrew Kopp. Sammy Blais, you put him on the third line with Hito and Lafreniere. The only reason Alexis Lafreniere is not in the top six is because him and Blais have a lot of chemistry. When they played together for the 15 games that they did this season, Lafreniere and Blais were kind of buzzing. You throw Hito on that line, it's speed, 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 and it's still technically a kid line. On the fourth line, the only thing I did was sign Nick Cousins and re-sign Tyler Mott. Barclay Goodrow's your fourth line center, Bob's your uncle, and that's your team right there. Yikes. That is not a... Put it to you this way. Looking at this, you are relying awfully heavy on your young guys becoming studs. So yeah, it's a bit of a hope and a prayer, ain't it? Anyways, the defense is not changing. The only thing that changes is Nemeth leaving and Zachary Jones taking the sixth spot. Sturkin remains your starter. You sign Eric Comrie as your backup. Your scratches are Hunt, Reeves, and Jared fucking Tenorti. Granted, there are plenty of options in free agency on defense that you could sign instead of just calling up Jared Tenorti and honoring his 2-year contract. For example, if you want to sign a league minimum $750,000 deal for a defenseman, you're looking at probably anyone who's played 20 or less games. So from Michael Stone down. And to tell you the truth, I know nothing about any of these guys. So I'm going to rely on the Rangers scouting department if they are going to sign any of them. I just don't know. I don't know if any of them are that good. I recognize all their names. I just don't know if they're any good or not. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see any of them doing anything. Carl Allstar. I forgot that guy was still alive. Brett Belmore, bring him back. The Rangers fold. Jesus Christ. But yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. This is the problem. This is the problem. Even with this very low key team I just offered you right here with them, without them making any significant moves, they'll only have $850,000 in cap space. Even with just these minimalistic moves, that is what you're left with. I don't see any realm of possibility where the Rangers can do something seriously significant this offseason without offloading a lot of cap space. Right now, we've got about $5 million tied up or $4 million tied up in dead cap space. Let's see. $3.5 million. No, that's scratches. $3.5 million worth of buyouts. So you have $3.5 million of dead cap space that could have been used to bring in a 2C. Can't do that. You've got $1.75 million sitting on the bench in Ryan Reeves. I don't think he's going to be a full-time player next year. I do believe he's going to be a bench player. You've got an $8 million defenseman making up 10% of your cap, and he's not even your third best defenseman on the fucking team. Panarin's Panarin, that's money well spent. Zibanejad, well, money well spent. Kreider, after last season, money very well spent. Barclay Goodrow. It's a lot of money for a fourth-line center. I know how badly the Rangers wanted veteran leadership, but you think signing a fourth-line guy to a 6-year deal, they wouldn't have had to spend that damn much on him. Yeah, we're at that point in the New York Rangers real-life franchise mode where we're going to be penny pinching. And having a guy like Barclay Goodrow making $3.6 million a year, so he could take a lot of stupid penalties, be okay on the PK, and be okay 5-on-5, again on the fourth line, well, it's a lot of damn money. Especially considering if the Rangers re-signed Mott to 1.85 times 4, you're getting a much better player at literally half the cap hit. In terms of percentages. It's just frustrating is all. That's all. I think Barclay Goodrow is good on this team. I think he's a great fit. I just still remain frustrated that he's our fourth highest paid forward. He wasn't even really that great last year. We're not going to go into a super Barclay Goodrow rant right here. But we're going to go to a Goodrow rant of sorts. It's a very quick one. 69 penalty minutes last year. I think he had one fighting major. Just, just grr. Very frustrating. Now, granted, he had a pretty good year. 33 points. He collected a lot of secondary assists. 13 goals, though. Pretty damn good. He was effective for the most part. It's just... Even if it was just $3 million flat a year, that would be a lot better than all these random fucking numbers thrown into the mix. Because that extra $641,000, well, that's another player right there. With the way the Rangers cap hit is right now, and that extra player could very well have gotten you a Cjethsyt. That's not Paul Stastny. I'm not shitting on Paul Stastny because I think he's an excellent option for the Rangers in free agency. The guy's over 60% in the faceoff dot. Those don't grow on trees. It's just, I digress. I just disregard everything I've said after the roster creation. What do you guys think? For a minimalist Rangers offseason where they don't do a whole lot, they don't acquire a whole lot, they do value, bargain bin signing, they get rid of Nemeth, and that is all they do. What do you guys think? To tell you the truth, I think it's a pretty realistic option. Unless the Rangers go out there and make a blockbuster deal that's going to blow your balls off, which I don't anticipate them doing, to tell you the truth. I think this is kind of what we're coming down to. The only thing I can see changing this is if the Rangers get Mark Scheifele and the Winnipeg Jets eat half of Mark Scheifele's salary. If they don't do that, I don't see how Scheifele's cap hit could fit on this team. I don't see how Strome could fit on this team. I don't see how Andrew Kopp could fit on this team. I just don't see it. We don't have the money to do so. Now, if the dead cap space we had didn't exist, and Goodrow is signed for $641,000 less, then yeah, you could make that move. That is not the world we live in today. So you guys comment below. Minimalist Rangers rebuild. Or Rangers rebuild. Retool. What do you guys think? Comment below your thoughts. Was there value bargain bin shopping you think we could find in free agency that I missed out on? You guys let me know. Comment down below. Sorry, I'm very tired. Long night. Long weekend. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Let's go Rangers. Comment down below. Peace.